everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Bottom Line. I'm your host, Lauren Kalil. Our show is brought to you by Whoop. Start tracking your strain, recovery, and sleep scores with Whoop, and even get an extra month's membership and a free 4.0 strap when you sign up with the link in the description. If you like listening to us chat about CrossFit news and everything that's going on in the sport, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Our sports analysts are back. We have Brian Friend and Patrick Clark here to discuss the semifinal seeding for CrossFit Copa Sur that's taking place June 10th through the 12th in Brazil. Brian, we're going to start with you. Your first takes on the women going to Copa Sur.
Well, the main thing here is that both of the women who qualified from this event last year, or the sister event of this one, are not in the field this year. As we know, Laura Kunas serving a suspension, and Sasha Nieves has decided to compete on a team this year. So probably the front runner here is a woman who a lot of people thought would make it last year, and Melina Rodriguez. And she had, I think she was sick actually during the qualifier last year, and so she did a very underwhelming performance relative to expectations from those who know her. And while I think she's probably the woman to beat, there are probably up to maybe even 10 women that have a chance to get that second spot. And so I think that even though this field is lacking a little bit of maybe the star power that we might see in some other semifinals, that this is a great opportunity for a lot of women that have been training hard and looking for an opportunity to break through and represent their part of the world. And a lot of the names on this list are going to be in the hunt. And I think that this is going to be a competition that people who don't know too much about the South American CrossFit athletes, and especially in the women's side, can get excited about learning who some of these women are and seeing, which ones of them have what it takes to make it to the games.
PC, what are some of your first takes on the notable athletes on the men's field?
I mean, just the first two names that stick out is Guillermo Mauros and Agustin Richelme. They are, look at the quarterfinals. They finished both in the top 15. Guy finished second overall worldwide, and Agustin finished 15th, I believe. Yes, he did. But the other names on that list, I mean, Omar Martinez, he's been in the game. Pablo Chalfon, he's an OG. I think he competed in the 2018 games. And then you have some young guns like Nicolas Bedarte, who was originally on that Mayhem Libertad team. And this is the two names right there are probably the ones that you're probably going to see a lot of. They're the favorites, and deservingly so. I mean, whoever goes to Copa Sur, they're going to get entertained, obviously, with Guy, and hopefully it'll put a good spotlight on this semifinal. Which Brian brought up, let me know, is that Copa Sur was actually the first semifinal that filled up and with all their male athletes, and they don't require any backfills. So, that's some great research there by Brian Friend. But
that just speaks to the overall, demographic of CrossFit in South America, which is that people are really bought in there. We know that it's been exploding and growing in different capacities in different countries down there. And the fact that, all 30 of the men that were invited signed up is pretty cool, because it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah. And we hope something like this, because last year they weren't able to have the live semifinal, but something like this, I expect maybe that semifinal, hopefully it's something that's produced live and that we can watch live or some type of feed, because it's going to be fun to watch. For those who, I've never been to Brazil or the Brazilian Championships or any of the events in South America, but I've heard it's a fun time. The fans get into it. CrossFit it's still behind UFC when it comes to like a niche sport in South America. But when you have people like Guy and Agustin who are kind of leading the way for their respective countries, I expect the fans to come out and fully support this, and hopefully it'll be something that we can all enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. Brian, what is your bottom line?
I think the bottom line is there's a huge contrast between the men's and women's fields here. Whereas the men's field is led by a couple guys that have made a name for themselves already and were at the games last year. There's a ton of opportunity for the women, and both of those things are exciting.
PC, what's your bottom line?
Hold on to your hats. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I talked about it before. It's going to be fun to watch. Anytime watching Guy, it's fun. I mean, everyone talks about that snatch event, but it'll be great to see how he improves. I mean, we saw in the quarterfinals that he's actually improved in a lot of things, working with Rich Daly, working with that Mayhem crew down there. So he actually gets to go and show that off, because we didn't see much of that in the off season. We only saw bits and pieces of it at the beginning at Rogue, but he was still not fully indoctrinated into the Mayhem philosophy yet. But now, we get to see this new gi that people have been talking about. So I'm excited to watch it.
Patrick Clark, Brian Friend, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.